So I'm obviously not here today, but I'm going to explain to you what you need to be doing. We're going to work on your portfolio piece, and you've probably seen these sheets before. You've already had a practice on them, and they were a practice. You're going to have to collect a new sheet today. You can choose to use the same one you did last time, or you might decide, I didn't like that one, so I want to use a different one. Okay, I'm going to read out what it says here on the sheet. It says students were asked to create an imaginative drawing using a partial photocopy of an object. They were asked to think outside of the box. So in other words, I don't want the obvious drawing here. It's got to be something really interesting. For example, if they were given part of a fish, they were to complete the drawing as anything but a fish. Do you get it? The drawing had to use the shape of the object, not cover it. So you're not allowed to cover up the object and draw something completely different. You have to use this to make something totally new, okay? Now, you'll notice on here that I've got some writing going this way and I've got some writing going this way, and this says anything but a face. So you can turn this into anything but a face, and I don't want you to think about which way the writing is going. You can turn this any way you like to complete your drawing, okay? That's why I've got writing going both ways. I'll just show you one. So you're not allowed to complete this as a face. Now, some of the ones I looked at that you did last time, people actually finish these off as a face. It's not allowed to be a face. It has to be something totally different. Same with this one. Anything but a building. Cannot be a building, and you can turn your page any way you like. I don't care which way the paper goes. You can have it on an angle like this, any way you like, okay? Go through a few more. All right, any way you like. Anything but a person. This is not allowed to be a person. Have a think about what this could be. Going that way, this way, that way. Many people I noticed finished this one off and they drew the rest of a face. It cannot be a face, all right? Anything but a face. And you can have it any way you want, okay? You're only going to work in grey lead today. And you all know that at the end of a class, you need to check that your caddy has 4 grey leads and 4 erasers in it, okay? You must have these at the end of every class for the next class. You will also get 4 erasers. Now, 4 sharpeners. For the grey leads, we only use the silver sharpeners. Don't use the coloured ones. All right, just reminding you that needs to be checked at the end of every class. So I'm still going through these. You cannot turn this into a scooter. It has to be anything but a scooter. And so many people have some really interesting things. I often find a good way to do this is kind of squint your eyes and see if the shape reminds you of something else. Okay, so I think you get this. It's anything but a person, anything but a fish, anyway. Now, a side note for grade 5-6, who are also doing this activity today, we have looked at overlapping and cropping. So think about overlapping some of your things and cropping, going off the page. For everyone else, think about when we have done previous drawings, I want you to include as much information as you can. If the teacher has to ask you what it is, you haven't drawn it clearly. Does that make sense? Remember, fill up the background. The background will give you lots more information. What do you need to include in your story to tell the viewer what they're looking at? It can be imaginative. You can't draw patterns. It has to be something that people will recognise. Just covering it with patterns, no, that's the cop-out. So we're turning this into, let's go through with this again. Your paper can be any way you like. You are not allowed to turn it into the thing that's written on the page. This cannot be a person. It can be anything but. Paper can go any way. You need to have a lot of detail. It needs to be clear to the people who are looking at your work what it is, and you need to fill up the whole page. Include the background. Now today we're just going to work in grey lead. You will have one more session after today to fine line, and if you like, colour in or shade. So this will be your portfolio piece for term 4. Have a great time, guys. Leave the room nice and tidy, and see you next week. I can't wait to see what you come up with.